Afternoon or evening. Welcome to day 13 of my second annual WPT and all things Vegas poker space. I'm Sherry Pluskota, your host. And for some reason, it's just never failing these days with X. Of course, yesterday I had all kinds of issues, including my space just completely shutting down and getting everybody getting kicked out. So let's try it again by updating the app. And of course, I start the space and I go to send out individual reminders and it rejects them all. So I've just been trying to message people that we've started. So we'll see if anybody even realizes we've started this morning. I see Curtis is up bright and early. Welcome, my friend. And hopefully, if you don't listen to it live, you're going to listen to it on a replay. And hopefully by tomorrow, I will have this new X figured out because obviously I'm doing something wrong. Pardon me. I want to say many thanks to my sponsor, Elevator Results. If you need a tailor made workout plan to help you lose weight or gain weight, Elevator Results can design that plan. Follow them on Twitter and check out their site at elevatorresultspt.com. You can find all the recordings of my past spaces and interviews on my YouTube channel at Sherry Pluskota 9212. Please subscribe. It is free of charge. Just trying to build that channel so that maybe, in the future we can use it for something. What? I don't know. But I've been told it would be a good idea for me to build that channel. You guys know I'm just in it for the fun of it. Okay. Waking up this morning to some very sad news coming out of Australia. And at this time, we're going to take a moment of silence for the Bondi Beach victims on the eve of Hanukkah. May they rest in peace and may the good Lord watch over their family and friends. Thank you. I'm going to take a moment now to go over the folks that won the drawings yesterday. If I could find the sheet where I wrote it down at. We gave away those 3 phase 6 passes for the Green Visor gang. And of course, we thank the guys over there and the ladies over there in the gang for agreeing to give us those phase 6 passes. If you're not familiar, the Green Visor gang are bringing the poker world and NFT world together. And they do a lot of online tournaments and I believe cash games too. I don't really play online, so you guys definitely reach out to Isaac or Mac or the Reaper or Exec Deck, and they can really give you the lowdown on what they do. Or you can go on my YouTube channel and watch the interview that I did with the guys to kind of help push their narrative out, so to speak. A great group of folks. They do a lot of online stuff, but the passes will give you access to some tournaments that have mostly $320 guarantees. And so you would have a pass into those tournaments. Okay, I'm trying to find the paper and forgive me. I just had it like 30 seconds ago. Of the list of winners for the drawings yesterday, Curtis is in here this morning and he was one of the winners too. Here we go. Okay, so yesterday we did the drawings for the phase 6 passes from the Green Visor gang, and the winners of that were Tom King, Mel Pittard, and Todd Rizzo. So thank you for the Green Visor gang donation, and congrats to those winners. If you're one of them, please let me know. Um, if you're interested in that prize. If not, we're going to redraw. So, you may not play online poker. That's not a problem. But from what I hear with the Green Visor gang, everybody has a lot of fun. Those guys do a lot for their members. And, I just think the world of them. Okay. So, on to the next thing was Rec Poker Premium Membership. Thanks to Jim Reed for giving those to us. Pardon me. And the winners of that were Curtis won one of those memberships, Mel King won, and Christina Black won. And For those that are not familiar, Rec Poker does a lot of content and they do a lot of teaching of poker. They have several coaches on staff. So your membership will get you to some training and coaches, and they're a great group of coaches. So that's what that premium membership is about. You get access. So Jim Reed and Poker Rec. No, sorry, Poker. No, sorry, guys. Jim Reed and Rec Poker, I appreciate you and your donations. Also, a starter subscription to GTO was donated by Karen Chess, and David Stone won that. So I'll be reaching out to you folks that have won those things in the next couple of days, and we'll figure out what you're going to do. And again, if somebody's not interested in that prize, we will give it away to somebody else. So have no fear. And we appreciate those donations for sure to the 6th official Spaces Meetup game. All right, you guys. Yeah. Am I a little disorganized? Yes. And hopefully by tomorrow I will be back at it because my daughter, Andrew, and Curtis are all leaving today, which means my life will settle back down because we go hard in the paint, so to speak. The four of us have been going hard, and I just need a little time to regroup, repack my suitcases, and get my life a little more organized for our morning space. And it doesn't help that this ex has been giving me some issues and backlogging what I'm trying to do here, but we're going to make it through. Um, I want to talk about the Bellagio today. Has a ladies' event at 11 a.m. It is a $250 buy-in. And because of the ladies' event, the Bellagio is canceling their 2 daily tournaments. So let me say that again. The 2 daily tournaments over at the Bellagio are canceled for today. And there is a ladies' event, which of course I'm going to go play. It's a $250 buy-in, and that starts at 11 o'clock today. Little shout out to Kathy Liebert. She is still in it to win it in the $800 seniors event, number 37, over at the Venetian. She has 342,000 in chips, and the chip leader, who is Loyal Sprague, has 815,000 in chips. So he is ahead of her, but it's doable. One double up, and guess what? Triple up, and she's right in it. So good for you, Kathy. Go get him, girl. I want to go over some of the tournaments around town today because, of course, with being so busy, I've been kind of putting that kind of stuff off. But a reminder: there is a ladies' event meetup game. Mercedes, who came to my meetup game, um, trying to. She's also trying to learn how to, host meetup games. This will be her third one, but she's trying to get some ideas. So she joined us at our meetup game, appeared to have a great time, and I'm looking forward to seeing her again on the 18th at 6 p.m. over at the Bellagio. They're going to have a ladies' meetup game, and that's going to be a monthly game. So the next one will be January 15th. So I'm looking forward to that. I did bring a Vera Bradley blanket to give away at that event. So kind of excited about that. Over at the Aria today is going to be a $160 no limit satellite. It starts at 10 a.m. and that is a 20K starting stack, 15-minute blinds with a 5-seat guaranteed into the 5-seat guarantee. And that is a turbo satellite. Also over at the Arias at 12 p.m., $1,600 Bet MGM No Limit Championship Day 2. And then at 2 p.m. at the Aria is a $1,100 No Limit Mystery Bounty Tournament, 30K starting stack, 30-minute blinds with a $200,000 guarantee. Over at South Point today, which we didn't get to go to last night, honestly, I was just too tired to play a tournament last night, knowing I have to play today. So Curtis and I went and played some cash last night and did pretty darn well. Okay, 10 a.m. this morning is a $120 buy-in, no limit tournament over at South Point, 20K guarantee, 15K starting stack. At 2:10 p.m. is a Chip Chop Survivor Tournament, $120 buy-in, 3K guarantee. At 6:10 p.m. is a $180 Bounty Tournament, 30K starting stack, 10K start guarantee. At 10:10 p.m. is a $120 buy-in, 20K starting stack, and that is a turbo bounty with a 2K guarantee. Over at the Orleans today is a 11 o'clock tournament. It is the Sunday special, $300 buy-in, 100K guarantee, 25K starting stack, 30-minute blinds. Also at the Orleans today is a mixed limits deuce to seven tournament at 6 p.m. It's a $240 buy-in, 10K guarantee, 30K starting stack, 20-minute blinds. Well, I can't help but notice that my co-hosts, none of my co-hosts are here this morning, so I'm sure, uh, you know, I'm sure it's just, honestly, I don't even know what to say anymore about this Twitter. I got a message from somebody yesterday, like 5 hours after the space, they had just got the DM that the space was taking place. And I've gotten several of those messages over the last probably 10 days that people are not even seeing the message that we send through the DMs to let people know that the space is coming on or starting. And so it's crazy. And that's how it all started. And then, of course, yesterday, the space just stopped. Like it just was done and gone. So I was hoping the update today was going to help. But again, like I said, I tried to send out the DMs for reminders and it rejected them. So, not sure what's going on. All right, let's go on to what's going on at the Horseshoe. I haven't read these in a few days, so I thought it would be good to do that. Over at the Horseshoe today at 9 a.m. is a $100 no limit tournament, and that is a 1K guarantee, 20K starting stack. And at 11 o'clock, it's a $160 no limit tournament, $1,500 guarantee, 20K starting stack. 2 p.m., 1 p.m., I'm sorry, 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and 11 p.m. at the Horseshoe is a $100 tournament, 1K guarantee, 20K starting stack. And and they also have an 8 p.m., $160 no limit tournament, 15K guarantee with a 20K starting stack over at the Horseshoe. Papa Poker, good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Yourself?
I'm doing well, just trying to figure out what the hell is going on with spaces. I have to apologize. I know I did via messages with you, but I'm so sorry. It just booted us out yesterday. And you were right in the middle of a great story. And
I think
I'm
I
not
finished it though. I think I finished
well,
it, so it's
that's what I
fine.
was gonna. Well, and I went back to listen to the recording because I got booted out of the space, and then eventually the space just died. I couldn't even get back in, and the whole time my microphone it looked like it was on, so I was going, "Hey, can you guys hear me? What's going on? Anybody out there?" And so I went back to listen to the recording, and sure enough, you finished the story. I just wasn't part of listening to it, so a little bit crazy, but here we are. Here
Well,
we are,
there's so much
technology.
poker going on. Now, did you see this Mike Matusow tweet? I thought it was very interesting. Mike
I'm gonna tell.
Matusow
Go ahead.
Mike Matusow tweeted that he wishes that more of these tournaments were freeze outs, and that his concern about rebuys is that it's less democratic now, and that all these sort of high rolled, have lots of money, they can rebuy
They're
multiple times, that
they're
they're the
just buying
ones
their way to the final tables.
who can make it. And then
Yeah,
those of us who are going to just look at one bullet, it's even more, I guess, noticeable in a $25,000 main event in the Bahamas. It obviously applies to this 10,000
right,
WPT as well. Is that the bigger bankrolled people can buy in as many times as they need and double up as many times as they need to have a nice stack as the blinds start to go up right after
right.
the rebuy period ends.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, this is a discussion I've been having with our guests as I've been interviewing them this year. Um, and one of the questions I have probably asked 6 or 10, I don't even know, of my folks that I've been interviewing this year is talking about rebuys. And I started that conversation because of Cody. in February was down at the Bellagio, not the Bellagio, excuse me, over at the Beau in Biloxi.
Hmm.
And he rebought into that tournament 36 times
Mm,
for $400 tournament, 36 times. And so I interviewed him shortly after that, okay? Because I was like, okay, I got to see, how the mind is ticking, because you have to, for those of us that are a little more involved in the poker world than just playing poker, you have to look at things from a multitude of ways. Is this good for the rec player? Is this good for the new player? Is this good for the pro player? Is this, is this good for the operator? Is it good for the game of poker? And so I interviewed him, and basically he said, first of all, he told us that he was going all in blind in most of those rebuys,
wow.
and that for some of those rebuys, he was sent back to the same table that he had just left.
So they knew what he was all about. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you look at that and you're like, well, if he dumped those chips, say if he did 4 bullets at one table, so that table is starting to get lopsided with chips in comparison to other tables, right?
Right.
And so the whole conversation has been interesting, and I also spoke to an operator on air about it, because I'm like, we should my point of view is we should limit it to, I don't know what the magical number is. 6, 4, it shouldn't be 36. Honestly, it just
36 is
shouldn't.
too much.
It should be 36. And let's face it, there's not many going 30 to 36. So why are we catering to that low percentage of players, instead of the masses, the other 98% that aren't doing that, which to me is what we should be doing, catering to the 98% and their wishes. But as we see often in the world of poker, you see the ones that are the high rollers speaking on all of our behalf, and them being in their little ivory towers is not reflective of what's really going on in the poker world. And so I have asked that question of many of my guests from since that time, and I'm going to say there have been, I want to I'm going to have to stop and think about it, but I want to say maybe 1 or 2 or 3 at the most that said unlimited is the way.
Hmm.
Everyone else, including Cody, Mr. Number 36, and I love him. I mean, he's hilarious. I've played with him and he's hilarious. But anyway, um, including him, says we should limit how many rebuys there are. And I think he said 3 or 4 would be his magical number. And he blatantly said during our interview, I will keep doing it as long as they let me.
Right. If the rules allow it, right? Yeah.
Right. And so now it's becoming this big topic. And we've actually here in Spaces have been talking about it all year. And maybe that's what's kind of nudged the conversation. I don't know. But I'm happy it is, because I look at it as some of them are just buying their way to the final table. I mean, it just is. And is it fair to the rec player? What if it's somebody's, they're new to the game? I'm going to go to the Beau Rivage and play this $400 tournament. They're excited. They're going for the first time to play their first tournament. And guess what? Now they are at this table with this wild maverick. And what are the chances of that person coming back? Like, is that the impression we want for a new player? We complain there's no new money in poker. What are we doing to chase the money away when it comes? I'm not sure. But there's lots of layers to that onion that we all need to look at. Is that good for the game of poker? Personally, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll mention
you
two
know,
things on this related to
yep.
Vegas, where you are. Derek Kwan out of LA posted that WPT is putting limits on the number of rebuys, and he was actually happy about it because it sort of prevented him from doing the story that you talked about. He was like so on tilt, he was ready to rebuy again, but he was limited. So, sort of interesting that WPT is putting rules in on the number of rebuys that you can have each day. And then I did this challenge, and I am putting it out on YouTube each week, and I'm about to post my Ohio episode tomorrow. But Papa Poker's Poker Cannonball, where I have to cash in each state as I cross the country from New York to LA. And in that, I was always weighing, do I want to rebuy again, or do I want to pay for another hotel, as I had to sort of cross the country and needed the cash in order to switch states. And so I ended up crossing the country and cashed in like 9 states in a row over 9 days. The final day was California Gardens Casino, and I rebought 2 times, so a total of 3 entries, and then I min
Right.
cashed. So in fact, for the day, I was negative, and I'm like, does this count? Does it count for me
Right.
to check this off if I went negative for the day? I counted it, but I definitely, as I crossed the country on 1 or 2 occasions, had to use the rebuy button to make sure I was able to check off some of the states I wanted to.
Right. And what a great time you had, right?
Oh, I met so many people. I learned about
Yep.
so many different card rooms. The small card room in Kentucky, the large WSOP event at Choctaw. Such a blast, crossing the country and playing poker as a way to engage with people.
I love it. Love it. I just want to wish my friends a happy Hanukkah. I see Barry has joined us. Happy Hanukkah, my friend, and those that are celebrating today. Um, I'm. If you were just joining us, we did do a little moment of silence for the victims in Bondi Beach, which, of course, um, now they're saying is part of an attack on the community that we love, the Jewish community, and such a sad situation. And you know, we can have differences, but we don't have to hurt each other. And I don't know where the message of that is getting lost, but I hope we can refind our way back to love and not hate. So just a little moment of thought there. Brian, if you can come up on a microphone or exec deck, or I know Karen is busy, so I'm not going to pressure her, but I want us to talk for a moment about something I've been experiencing here in Vegas. Hold on a second. Sorry, I have a little frog in the throat this morning. Um, Something I've been experiencing here in Vegas, and I've only been here a couple of days, and it's so noticeable that I feel like I can't ignore it and I need to speak on it. And the topic is shit regs. Like some of these folks are just so bad for the game. Like they're shit regs. And what do I mean about that? They're coming to the poker table, or when I arrive, they're already at the poker table, and they have the worst persona at the table. Like they are the worst representation of the game of poker. They never smile. They're just, all these grimacing faces. They're very rude to everybody at the table. Like their shit doesn't stink. Some of the comments I've heard are uh, asking me and Curtis, we were playing at a cash game yesterday, where do you play and have fun? Can you imagine being so miserable at a poker table that you're asking other people where they play to have fun and have fun? Because we were talking amongst Curtis and I, and Curtis said something about, wow, these people are not having fun. This is boring or something. I don't even remember what he said. And then this guy to my left, Curtis was on my right, said that. And of course, I was a little startled because I didn't realize he heard what Curtis said, but well, no, who cares? And I just said, anywhere we play, we have fun. And that's anywhere we play in the country or world. Because guess what? It is up to each and every one of us to make it fun. It's not my job or your job, it's all of our jobs. Another comment I heard was, we aren't here for fun. Wow, that's a shit regs attitude. We're not here for fun. Another comment was made to me directly the first day. Uh, I'm sure you're used to playing with women only. Wow. And my response was something like, um, I'm not sure where you're from, but I'm not going to take any shit from you. I mean, like, what is wrong with you people? You want you're like poking, you're like tapping the glass of rec players or vacationing players by being such an ugly attitude at the table. How long do you think people are going to stay there that are on vacation with a bankroll to blow at the poker table? How long are they going to stay there with attitudes like that at the table? Well, I'm going to tell you how long. Not very long, because I saw them coming and going at my table. And guess what? When they were going, they were taking their chips because they weren't having fun. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're making the table miserable. Okay. Any comments on that? I'm going to start with Papa first.
I would certainly say that I really took heart in this Club WPT Gold event because it looked like the people were having so much fun, and maybe it's all those
Yes.
prizes, but um, oh man, we go out there to have fun. So the fact that there are some miserable people, I think that's part of Vegas, though. I don't know.
Oh,
I think there's a Vegas element to it. We talked about me traveling the country as Papa Poker. I met so many fun people in the middle of the country, but I think in Vegas, maybe it's the time, maybe it's when. I have definitely played with some miserable people. I remember this one gentleman where we were sort of going back and forth, and he didn't want to chop. And man, he was so mean to me for the whole rest of the tournament. And we're just discussing whether we wanted to chop or not. It's just obviously we're trying to have some fun, and it's so I am not surprised by what you've run into, and my apologies on behalf of Vegas.
well, and I appreciate that. And I just, we understand that some of you are grinding every day to have a paycheck. Nobody is, saying that isn't part of what's going on here. But you also have to realize that you made choices in your life that have led you down this path. And nobody at that poker table is at fault but you. And I'm not trying to shit on them. I'm just saying that we also have to recognize that those people that you are being rude to are the ones that can help pay your paycheck. So isn't that kind of a circle of life that maybe you need to reevaluate and say, ooh, you know, I'm not, I'm struggling. I need food on my table. But guess what? If I'm maybe a little more cheerful, you don't have to be the class clown at the table, but just a smile or hey, or nothing. But rude comments, these grumpy faces. Anyway, you guys got the picture. Welcome, exec deck. How you doing, pal?
Hey, Sherry, how's it going? Good to hear your
Good,
voice.
thanks.
I'm
Thank you.
totally bummed. I'm still reeling that I missed your meetup game this
Oh,
time.
sorry.
I know. My only request is maybe Saturdays next time instead of
Well,
Friday.
and
But
I hear you loud and clear. The problem is that there are poker series going in town. And so when I look at the schedule, I try to find the least tournament, how can I
heavy
say it?
day,
Yes, thank
yeah,
you.
makes sense. Well, I don't want to
Especially
change your
I try to
subject too
stay.
much here,
Oh, that's okay.
but
And I try to stay away from like day twos of big events, and so it's sort of a slippery slope because there's so many series going on
yeah,
that
yeah,
and so typically what I do is I give the operator two or three dates, and then they pick and say, okay, it's going to be this day.
yeah, yeah. It
And
makes sense.
so
I
yeah,
usually can get out of work, but it just didn't work out this time. But back to your subject.
yes,
You hit a lot of nails on the head. You've got people there grinding as it's their job, and who's
right.
having a blast at their job. But then your other point, they also have to look at it and go, wait a second, I need to draw these people in. These people need to have fun here for me to get
Right.
my paycheck,
And to me, they're
and
getting in their own way. Like they're getting in
totally.
their own way.
I think that's everything. It's not just Vegas, not just poker, it's just life. You go to Disneyland, you got the employees that are smiling there and realize they got to make a good time for these people to come back for them to have a job. Then the other people that are miserable. and just don't get it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. But
And
Vegas has always had that working local
of course.
group, you know.
And, I've been playing here for years, and I have had some of the best time at a poker table full of regulars. And
Totally.
had a
Yeah.
and had the best time, at a table full of regulars.
Yeah.
But the
Go to the double board
mentality,
bomb pot PLO
yes,
table. You'll have a blast.
yes. And I'm just not sure what has shifted in the universe, but right now the attitudes are horrible. And it's to me, they're shooting themselves in their own foot. Like, what if I live in a state where, say, I live not in Nevada, I live in another state, and we have great poker. And I have my group, I go to my local, casino, and, we have our group and blah, blah, blah. And then I come to Vegas. I'm all excited. I'm going to play Vegas poker, blah, blah, blah. And I go to play, and it's miserable. Do you think I'm going to waste money traveling to Vegas to play with a bunch of miserable people? Or am I going to stay at my casino or card room local and have fun? I mean, it's that simple, people, in some cases.
it,
It's
it, it
that
makes
simple.
sense. Are you finding that it's certain places? Because I do find in Vegas you've got more of a local environment at certain places,
Right.
whereas you'll have
Okay.
the tourist environment,
Right.
others.
Okay. I'm just going to tell you where we played last night was the Horseshoe. And I love this poker room, and I play here often. And this it's just been different this visit. It's just been different. And I don't know what the answers are or the reasons are. But I'm going to tell you, we need to reevaluate people and, shit regs, get your act together, because it's not good for the game. And it certainly isn't good for your bottom line if people don't come back. Guess what? Yeah, maybe I'll go over to Orleans and I'll have a better time. So now I'm not even at the Horseshoe where you like to play. Now I'm over at the Orleans having a blast. You know, Valid point. I'm going to welcome Karen. Hey, Karen,
Hey there.
how are you?
Good. Yeah, they changed my schedule on me, so I'm not even streaming today. I had to stream yesterday because they're
Oh,
doing
you're
this invitational today.
well. I'm excited you're going to play.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited. It's just, I wish they'd give a little bit more heads up, is all, but it's fine.
Yeah, yeah. So, what's your comments on shit regs?
So, um, I don't run into a whole lot of them, but certainly I hit the occasional one. So I haven't really noticed, I guess, that it's worse, though I'm not saying it's not. I just have noticed.
Yeah.
Typically, when I go play, it's at the circuits, so it's a different crowd of people that are, a lot of recreationals and
Well, and it's really, I'm talking about cash games.
oh, cash
You're
games.
not, yeah, you're going to not see this kind of thing in a tournament. Believe me.
Yeah. So it's been a while. I used to play in the poker room up there at Cherokee, and yeah, I don't remember so much ugliness, but well, I do remember it's depressing. It's depressing. So I don't like to play the cash game when a circuit's not going on because the regs, to me, like you're saying, they're just grim. And I'm in the 1-3 streets, and I don't enjoy playing cash game with the shit regs. I have to say,
Yeah.
it's depressing.
Well, and it's so unfortunate because it doesn't have to be. I think that's kind of like my point. Like, I understand the pressure you're under. Like, as a regular trying to live off of the dollar made at the poker table, I've been around long enough to understand that grind and the heartaches that come with it. But again, I didn't choose that for you. You chose it for yourself. But guess what? If I sit down at the table with you, I can help your bottom line. And guess what? Are you going to choose to embrace that? Are you going to treat me horribly and I just get up and go somewhere else and then you don't get any of my money, so to speak? Go ahead, exec deck.
You know what? Maybe that's their problem is you're not contributing to their bottom line. You know what you're doing and they're not winning when you're
Well, and
there. So they're
yeah,
trying to get rid of you. They have some donk at the table. I bet you the smile comes out somewhere.
but I'm going to tell you something. I really appreciate those comments. But in this case, those three comments were made with us being at the table less than 10 minutes. Can you imagine?
Yeah, that's pretty weak. I mean, the woman comment is just ignorant. It's like, okay, where are you going to go first of all, and only play with women? It just doesn't
Right.
happen very often. First of all, dumbass. Second of
Well, I'm
all,
going to tell
you're
you, I think,
obviously threatened and weak. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
that chaps my hide. That one gets me going.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Curtis was furious. He kept looking at me, but because I was snapping back at the guy and defending myself, later he told me, he said, I was ready to pounce, but you were taking care of yourself. He said, that guy just really pissed me off. I go, yeah, no kidding. I said, and he said, I've never seen that at a poker table before, Sherry. And I said, well, this is the kind of thing that women are talking about, and unless you see it yourself, a lot of men don't even believe it's happening, right? Now, Curtis is a believer before he even saw it. But he witnessed it for the first time and he was like, I was gonna come unglued, which he's a former Marine, and of course I don't want him to get in trouble. So I appreciated that the fact that he bit his tongue for sure. And I was defending myself and it was ridiculous. Like, dude, what are you even saying this to a female for? Like, you're making yourself look so ignorant, right? And he kept talking, and I just would turn to him and say, are you finished yet? And he would go, I am not finished. And I'd give him like 30 seconds, and he would like take a breath, and I would turn to him again and, are you finished yet? And of course,
Wow.
the table would just giggle. You could hear everybody kind of giggle under their breaths because, dude, you're looking like a fool. Like you are looking like the fool you are. But anyway, I'm just a little disappointed. I've played so many years here in Vegas, and at weeks at a time, and I have had a great experience. Like Harrah's and Flamingo used to be my two favorite poker rooms because I would go there and I would have this group of regs that I always knew were there. And we would have, I mean, that was the longest stint I've ever played at a poker table was at Harrah's. And it was like 22, almost 23 hours. And it was with all the regs and we had a flipping blast. So I'm not shitting on regs for no reason. I'm shitting on regs because something's happened, and it's unfortunate, but their bottom line has to be suffering at the, consequences of how they're treating people at the tables. I can't believe it's not. So anyway, I did want to touch on that this morning. You have anything else on it, exec deck, that you'd like to mention?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you hit all the major points, but yeah, it's just kind of the world we live in. You got some
Yeah.
fuddy duds out there.
Unfortunately, but hopefully. And in the last, I don't know, couple of months, I would hear other people say something about the shit regs this or shit regs that. And I just always blow it off like, these guys and gals are grinding, and it's not a glorious world when you're grinding a 1-3 table to put food on your table. It just isn't. And but until I came this visit, I'm like, wow, this is like at a different level, and it's very
Mm,
unfortunate. It
yeah, it
really is
is.
unfortunate. And after we left, I really was thinking about it, and I was like, maybe I should have thrown him a $25 chip and said, "Here, you know, put this in your
No,
pocket
screw
for
that.
dinner.
Don't
Put
encourage
this,
that shit.
put this in your pocket for dinner later because obviously, something else is going on, and you may need a little support away from this table or something. I don't know. It's just very unfortunate. I hate it. I hated it. Hated it, still do. But anyway, I wanted to talk about it and touch on it this morning. So, are you going to get a chance to play some poker soon?
In real life, I don't play a whole lot IRL.
Gotcha.
Um, I just use these Vegas trips as an excuse to go do it. I'll hit my
I
local
love it.
card house here and there, but honestly, there is a shit reg aspect to my local card house here, so not always fun, you
I
know.
hate that.
So, but oh well.
Honestly, it pains me to hear it, and because A, life is too short, and B, there's something to be said about loving what you're doing in life. And if you're so miserable at the poker table trying to earn a living, maybe you need to reevaluate.
Yes, make a change. Make a
Make a
change. Be happy.
change.
Be happy
Go
in
get
life.
a,
Yes.
even if you're Ubering. I used to Uber. I did it for a different reason. I had lost my mom and I needed to fill time. But I'm going to tell you, it was very fulfilling and rewarding. And it did occupy my time and mind at a very difficult point in my life. And guess what? Same thing for you if you're suffering at the poker table because life is hard right now. Go get a different job. They're out there. Yeah, it's going to take you a whole week maybe to earn what you would in two sessions if you're having a lucky day or two. But there's something to be said about a steady income and being able to depend on a steady income for your peace of mind so that you don't have to worry about where the next dollar's coming from or the next pot I have to win to make my mortgage. So, I don't know what all the answers are, but I just encourage you if you are so miserable at the poker table, find something else to do. Take a break. You could go back at it in 6 months. Maybe you'll get a new attitude about it. Sometimes we have to step away to let the negative creep away and get a new lease on whatever we're doing and a new refreshed love for it. And that may be the answer. Maybe you just need a break from it. Take the break. Give yourself the break. You need it because you're miserable. So, again, moving on. Sorry, soapbox, you guys. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry, soapbox, but it just has really been weighing on my heart and mind and soul. Really has. And I hate that it is, but I also feel like something needs to be done because that's going to ruin things for a lot of people. The people you want, the money, the loose money, the new money. Exactly what you want at the poker table. Okay, so all right, I am going to go over today's schedule at the WPT. And at 11 o'clock, there is day 1B of the World Championship, $10,400 buy in, 100K starting stack, 60-minute blinds that'll eventually go to 90-minute blinds, and there's no guarantee. Also at 11 o'clock is the No Limit 1B. $600 tournament, 250K guarantee, 40K starting stack, 40-minute blinds. Also at the WPT at the Win is a 12 p.m. milestone tournament for the $10,400 championship. They're going to give away 25 seats. It is $1,100 buy in, 20K starting stack, 25-minute blinds. 1 p.m. is their Big O tournament, $1,100 buy in, 100K guaranteed, 30-minute blinds, and 30K starting stack. At 6 p.m. at the Win WPT is a milestone into that 10K championship. 25 seats are guaranteed. At 7 p.m. is a PLO Turbo Tournament, $500 bounty. It is a bounty tournament. Bounties are $500. The buy-in is $1,600. 100K guarantee, 30K starting stack with 20-minute blinds. Again, over at the Bellagio is at a ladies event at 11 a.m. I'm going to go play at it. I can't wait to see you, ladies. It is a $250 no limit tournament, 10K guarantee, 30K starting stack, 30-minute blinds. And that is the ladies' event. And of course, the Bellagio has canceled their other two daily tournaments for the day. Over at Mandalay Bay is a 1 and 8 p.m. Two tournaments, 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. I don't know if that came out right. $60 no limit tournament, no guarantee, 10K starting stack, 15-minute blinds. Over at the MGM at 11:10 is a $125 bounty, 1K guarantee, 20K starting stack, 15-minute blinds. Also at 110 at 11:10. No, that can't be right. Double check the MGM times. on Poker Atlas, but they do have a $125 grand stack event. It is a $1,500 guarantee, 25K starting stack, 15-minute blinds at 3:10 p.m. at MGM is a $125 bounty, 1K guarantee, 20K starting stack, 15-minute blinds at 7:10 p.m. at the MGM is a $125 grand rebuy, $1,500 guarantee, 15K starting stack, 15-minute blinds. And at 11:10 p.m. tonight is a bounty tournament, $125 buy-in, 1K guarantee, 20K starting stack, 15-minute blinds. That's over at the MGM. So I also want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Elevator Results. If you need a tailor-made workout plan to help you lose weight or gain weight, Elevator Results can design that plan. Follow them on Twitter and check out their site at elevatorresultspt.com. Um, Exec deck. What's going on with Green Visor Gang? Um I'm sorry. What's going on with Green Visor Gang right now?
Green Visor Gang is right now minting Phase 6 passes for the Holders games. As you know, we go through different phases that run right around 2 months each of series of Holders games that if you buy a pass, that allows you into the Holders only games. And if you buy another pass, you get a free rebuy and on and on. There's other benefits to owning multiple passes, but that is what we are in the throes of right now.
I
Um,
love it. It's so exciting for you guys. You guys work so hard at what you do to bring the NFT world and connect it to the poker world. And everybody knows I'm not a big online player, so I don't play with the Green Visor Gang just because I'm not an online player. I do it. I just dabble in it. But those that play that Green Visor Gang games, I know have been enjoying themselves, and you guys do a lot of fun stuff together.
Yeah, it really is just a passion. If you look at the breakdown for the Holders games, we have a certain number of passes that are for sale, and 100% of that goes into the prize pool. There's
I love
no
it.
20% of it raked out for which I think that, I mean, there should be. There are costs involved with the poker platform and the
Right.
X platform. There's costs involved, but the team eats it just out of passion. We just really love having people together and playing poker.
I love that. And I get that. You guys dig in your pockets. I understand it. Why? I dig in my pockets every meetup game. I'm out several $100s. Why? Because I love it. I love being able to provide that experience to promote something positive in poker. I feel like you guys were stewards of the game. And if I could, invest a couple $100s to promote something fun and it brings people in and, we have fun at the poker table, I'm doing it like 100%. And so I understand you say you guys are digging in your own pockets to make some things happen. I get it.
Well, you are an amazing steward of the game, and I think we just want to emulate what you're doing out there, online and in real life, and join in the fun with you. So you set a great
Well,
example.
I appreciate your kind words. And I, you know, I I like to say that no matter what project I've ever been involved with in my entire life, I do it because I'm passionate about it and I believe in it. Otherwise, I just don't do it. Like some people will say, "Can you help us with this?" I'm like, I'm just not on board. So, no, because if I can't be on board and it's not something I believe in or want to be a part of it, I can't just promote it to make, my name associated with it. I want to be associated with it because I believe in it and I'm passionate about it. I have a life and a good family, and God bless, we've been very fortunate, right? And so I just want to do things that make me happy, and hopefully it makes other people happy too. So appreciate your kind words.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, you guys. I see Michael's here. Thank you. And Karen, I appreciate you and good luck today, Karen. I can't wait to hear about it, all about it. And I hate you and I haven't had as much time to chat as we normally do because I'm going in one direction and Karen's going in another direction. And hopefully, we're going to have our birthday celebration soon, Karen, and have some fun, maybe at the poker table, and certainly over a dinner or lunch or something. So appreciate you guys for joining me. Exec Deck, always a pleasure. And yes, we did miss you at the meetup game, but you know what? We're going to do one next year, and missed you too, Karen. And Michael, we're going to get you to one soon. Next summer, of course, you know, my wheels are already turning, but it's going to be a tricky summer. I was actually, somebody was talking about it to me, with me at the meetup game about, you know, the date for next summer. And of course, I can't even think about the exact date until all of the poker series releases their schedules, because again, I try to pick a day that doesn't interfere with a lot of the tournaments that day. You know what I mean? So it's got to be a what do you say, a day that doesn't have a lot of tournaments, or day twos or day threes, because we want people to come and not be stressing over, you know, I got a day three, or so anyway. um and for me, I kind of chuckled because over the last 2 weeks, I have found out some things that are going on in my children's lives that are going to really complicate next summer for me. Of course, my son Nick got engaged, and they're looking at wedding dates. So I'm hoping it's not until after mid July. Not only because it's hot outside, but my life before, you know, between June and the mid July is really busy. Then my daughter has been offered a great opportunity. And so she's still being, how do you say it, courted, with with the proposal. And so I don't know if she's going to accept it. If she does, it's going to kind of be most of the summer, and I'm going to have to help with the baby. And so, of course, we're going to have to pick the dates wisely for the meetup games. So lots going on, but you know, we always get it done somehow, folks. And it's going to be a little more complicated, but it's okay. It is okay. We will figure it out. We will have meet up and have some fun, and I will look forward to it. So again, I appreciate you guys joining me this morning. Still trying to figure out what the hell's going on with X. If you weren't here earlier, I tried to send DMs out, and it wasn't letting me send DMs out to with the link for this, that the space had started. Um and unfortunately, we're just so busy here right now, running around like crazy people doing stuff. I just haven't had time to just really sit down and say, okay, let me research what's going on with X, and let me try to figure it out. But I guarantee you, I will be in the next day or two, because everybody, the three people I've been hanging out with, all go home today. So, goal number one is more sleep, and goal number two is repacking all the stuff I dumped out to use my suitcases to lug everything to the meetup game. And then you know, goal number three is to figure out X. So anyway, here we are. So appreciate y'all. Hey Jeff, appreciate you coming into the space on Saturday. Yeah, on no, on Friday during the meetup game. You guys aren't going to believe this, but I've never gone back and listened to a meetup game space, just because it's several hours long and I just don't have the time. But I promised myself before this meetup game that I was going to go start going back and listening to those spaces, because I just think it would be kind of fun to go back and listen to them. Um, but you know, when you're at it, I don't know, it just is a lot of time to go back and listen. But I know you were there, as well as many others. So appreciate you, Jeff, supporting Barry and what we were trying to do. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to log off so I can get ready to go play the ladies event. Wish me luck. And hopefully we're going to run good today, and may the cards be with me and all that kind of good stuff. And if you're on the felt today or this, you know, week, good luck. Let us know if you are, so we can cheer you on for sure. Appreciate all of you that have joined me, and those that'll listen to a replay in the future. I appreciate you as well. So we'll be back at it tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Much love to you, and of course, prayers to those in Australia that have suffered great loss and tragedy yesterday on the night before Hanukkah. Our hearts are crying with you and for you. So, all right, peace out, folks.